Just when you thought Bud Light decided to make the dumbest sponsorship deal of 2023, yeah, Dove's got you beat on this one. You got Zyahna Bryant. That name kind of sounds familiar, and it probably should, because there was another story that came out earlier this year revolving around her and the fact that she's a dirty goddamn liar that ended up getting somebody kicked out of college and then also have their life ruined, is hired by Dove. Dove, it's kind of funny because they were about, that was also a couple of months ago, was also causing a big stink. Oh, kind of in regards to the same thing. So they're also following up on their much maligned marketing campaign of trying to get fat women encouraged about video games, where everybody was looking at that and going, what do you mean 77% of chicks are overweight? Yes, those are the numbers. You're shocked by that? You really shouldn't be. Go take a look outside, man. These bitches are fat and they're mad. So Dove knew that and decided to hire, a fat, mad bitch. Zyahna Bryant is hired by Dove to promote fat liberation. The fuck does that mean? Despite ruining white students' life over misheard a remark at BLM protest. Yeah, exactly, because there's no consequences. The most privileged class of women in, I was going to say the United States, but I would say the world. That's the face of that, okay? The amount of privilege is multiplied by the number of chins that you have. Unbelievable. Dove has partnered with a black activist accused of ruining a white student's life over a misheard remark. There's accusation? No, that's in print. We've seen that because that all started in 2020, and then she eventually proved her innocence because all of these college tribunals are basically struggle sessions in the modern day. So it took her that long to prove her innocence this time around, but hey man, it's all over. The damage has been done. That's also whatever you can say about the chair that Zyahna sits in after she stands up from it and nobody else has the ability to resuscitate that chair. But yes, was hired to promote fat liberation in a bizarre and controversial new campaign. The beauty brand has teamed up with Zyahna Bryant, a community organizer and student activist studying at the University of Virginia in Charlottesville. Fantastic. You know what? If anybody needed fuel for their tiki torches, you're definitely gonna have years of fuel out of that carcass. See, it's Charlottesville, and she's a fucking whale. Bryant, 22. Yo, you're not gonna live to see 42. Claimed that she had overheard a white student named Morgan Bettinger threaten Black Lives Matter protesters in Charlottesville in July of 2020 after she used the phrase speed bumps while describing the protesters that she saw. But Bryant later admitted that she may have misheard after gleefully watching and joining in as Bettinger was canceled and her life was destroyed. Yeah, the big story in 4 paragraphs right there. There was allegations to eventually, she actively participated and promoted the hoax that she went and perpetrated. But it's all right now. That Dove money coming in. Bettinger was subjected to a torrent of abuse and a campaign to remove her from UVA. Staff and students ganged up against her and scuppered her future prospects. Despite the controversy, Dove has chosen Bryant, not Morgan Bettinger, the reasonably cute chick that ended up getting canceled. No, not the person that could definitely use a hand up, or I'm sorry, a leg up. I'm confused, hand out and a leg up in the same situation, mostly because there's just so much mass in the upcoming picture that I see right there. I just got flustered a little bit because I don't know how to handle this wild animal. Dove has chosen Bryant as one of their paid partners. Maybe they were just trying to think, it's like, yeah, we really want to do something good for a family struck with tragedy, and if we can get a hold of any of the Bryant descendants, we'd be really doing a good solid for Vanessa and Kobe. It's like, does anybody know any Bryants that are in the neighborhood and you couldn't get further from that fit, active, and actually productive family? Anyways, a loose advertisement and promotional tie-up similar to the Bud Light offered to trans activist Dylan Mulvaney. Bryant last week posted on Instagram a video declaring she was a Dove ambassador and discussing fat liberation, a campaign to end the stigma of being overweight. Yo man, no, that's not overweight. That is overweight. Oh my god, what I think, I'm sorry. So when I think about what fat liberation looks like, I immediately get gassed because I'm pretty sure thinking probably makes her sweat. Yo, I ain't watching this shit, okay? Mostly because seeing her double chin reminds me that, I gotta go change a flat tire on my bike, after I go pick up a new inner tube. Just little things, I need to write that down. hashtag a Dove partner fat liberation is something we should be talking about. No, it isn't, because you people get, not you people, like, actually, no, exactly, you people. Whenever you want to discuss that shit, well, it's never a long conversation, mostly because you get winded and need to sit down for a little while, but because when you're liberated, well, you don't really end up going all that far. It's tough to walk around with that much mass. That's why I'm partnering with Dove to support the work of the NAAFA official, a Flair for Justice, and campaign for size freedom. Size freedom. You're getting sponsored by a soap company, fucking Dove beauty care products. So if there's more of you, they can sell more products. That's the reason why you're getting fucking endorsements and being told to push the whole fucking... Is this the evolution of the body positivity movement, where we're going to go ahead and we're going to take back fat as a derogatory term? Okay, cool. Well, I'm going to go ahead and take back another word that you would take offense to, because we just need to reclaim language, right? Tell us what fat liberation means to you with the hashtag size freedom. That sounds fun. And tagging at Dove to share your story. Size freedom means that if you have a big enough gravitational pull, anything that you do in your previous few years can be forgiven by simple virtue of your sex and race. In an accompanying clip, Bryant, who is proudly plus-sized, well, it's not like she can hide it, said, "My belief is that it should be centering the voices and experience of the most marginalized people in the communities at all times. So when I think about, oh God, I gotta rest for a second. Fat liberation looks like to me, think about, can I get a Popeyes number 3, centering the voices who live. Whew, it's getting hot in here. What's the temperature? 63? Yeah, can you go ahead and drop that? Oh, Lord. Spaces and institutions in the fat body. Brian's 27th. You get a Dove, a flagship Unilever brand endorsement with 27,000 followers. Fucking Christ almighty. That is big time privilege. 27,000 on Instagram. Mostly, I'm sure most of them are probably just tuning in for the freak show. Where it's like, wow, you can capture that much without a fisheye lens? That's amazing. With an outpouring of support, praising her for promoting fat liberation and declaring that the campaign was long overdue. It probably had nothing to do with your community activist roots, and probably also pressuring a bunch of different companies that if they didn't hands over the money, if you didn't gives me an endorsement, we would pick it outside your place. Yo. She is roundly condemned on social media after news of her role in Bettinger's cancellation was first shared by Reason magazine. Oh shit, even another broken clock can be right twice a day. With Dove now potentially in the frame for blowback over its close association with Bryant. Yeah, they were doing a bunch of fuck shit even back, not even just in June, but for a very long time. I would just wonder if this would end up tipping the scales, which, for Zyahna is a consistent problem. Not so much tipped as broke. And the soap brand has long associated itself with woke causes, pushing body positivity. Unilever's other mega brands include Ben & Jerry's. They've done also other stupid shit. What was that about? Oh yeah, that was, indigenous people. It's like your lands, your warehouses, or your creamery's land is on indigenous spaces. Well, we don't have to give that back. We bought it fair and square. Domestos? I don't know what that is. Vaseline? She knows what that is. Zyahna, I'm surprised she didn't get an endorsement for that, given how much she needs in order to get through standard-sized doors. And Hellmann's. She doesn't like that because mayonnaise is white. Earlier this year, trainee influencer Dylan Mulvaney's tie-up with Bud Light to celebrate a year of living as a woman. Oh, that's great, because Zyahna Bryant, they have so much in common, man, right? Yeah, because Dylan Mulvaney got the sponsorship for Bud Light because, celebrating 365 days of girlhood. Zyahna Bryant, every single day, and especially on her next birthday, it'll be 23 years of living as a woman, because that bitch huge. I've got jokes for days, folks. At the age of 12, she organized her first demonstration. Yes, exactly. Everybody who was, of course, caught in her orbit. The Rally for Justice for, Skittles and Sprite, sorry. Trayvon Martin and other unarmed black lives lost to police violence. Are you fucking retarded? Yo, Trayvon Martin who jumped and beat George Zimmerman within a fucking inch of his life. Are you kidding me? Unarmed black lives lost to police violence. Oh, like what? Rashard Brooks, who was reaching and wrestling away weapons from police officers. George Fentanyl Floyd, you should be protesting, well, illicit drugs and career criminals. Like, who else? Who else? Mike Brown, hands up, don't shoot Mike Brown. Yeah. The gentle giant, okay, guy who was also, trying to beat the piss out of fucking police officers. Like, come on, man. What do we got to do? What the fuck do we got to do? But it's not going to matter for these bitches because they just go out there. They get their very voluminous name out. Yo, man, them titties point fucking... The nipples on them titties point straight fucking down. They look like moose noses. They shout out the late great Patrice O'Neal for coming up with that one. That shit makes me howl every time I fucking hear it. Kind of like any floorboard that she's standing on. Yo, man. Little do you guys actually know that purse right there is actually a full-size piece of luggage. It's just forced perspective the way that picture's shot. But yeah, man, it's an apt comparison because it looks like Dove is really fucking up with this one. But at the same time, the people that actually care about their soap and, we're just gonna go ahead and burn our Dove loofahs. We're just gonna take shots at, a 4-pack of body wash. Yeah, I don't really know because those same woke white women that spend all that time worrying about what type of exfoliating scrub that they use are the same ones that would have been supporting the efforts to seek retribution against that racist Morgan Bettinger because a poor aggrieved black woman said that she was a victim of racist slurs. Oh, really? She lied and made it all up? Well, she deserves that sponsorship so much more than, somebody with values and the ability to see their feet. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.